Boy, Shirley, I would say if we get it in the 2 bio boxes, even that would be great.
Yeah, it's fine. No, it'll be fine. Yeah, don't worry, Dan, if it goes into both boxes, it'll be fine.
Okay. I'm hoping it'll just kind of crumble into the box.
Yeah, it'll crumble.
There you go. Just
Oh, most of it's in already. Wow.
Shore-based scientist, you said you wanted to get a close-up of something from which this coral was plucked before we move on. What do you want to see? The main stem, you're saying a ribbon from which this was plucked.
good job.
Maybe to look at the stolen nifris. Okay.
Are you clear?
Yep, we're clear.
So Dan, that was excellent. We've heard everybody saying probably the best collection of a corallium ever. Ever. Okay. Now wait. Flush with success.
Hi, Shirley.
Wait. Yes. Go ahead. Go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, that was me that typed that in. So you see that there's a ribbon-like growth coming from that colony that's still there that went towards the one that we collected. And what I'm trying to see is, did that stem, the main stem that we collected, come from the ribbon, or did the ribbon grow onto the stem? So a close-up of the base of what we just collected would be informative.
Good collection.
You might have to fly around to the
Video,
right.
you want to zoom in on that?
Well, then I don't know that it's worth doing to spend that kind of time on. I just meant let's get a zoom of where we just made that collection to the extent possible while we're here.
I'll take my cameras back.
Okay, Roger. I think they were talking about the line of coral that's going from what's standing to the one you just collected.
Yep, go ahead.
Yeah.
And hold there, and I will try to
just go left a little bit.
Yep.
And I think, Scott, that you are right.
Go just
Teeny
a
bit
little
to
bit
the right.
No, the left.
Yeah.
Yep.
Moving
around.
it to the
Hoping
right.
to just swing around on my toe here. Make it easy.
That'd be great. Then we could see how much incrustation there is on the rock face.
And if
by
I
this.
slip, I'll back off real quick.
Wow, and there's a lot. I'm sure Scott's right. It's making its way from one to the other.
Yeah, I'm not sure, Scott, looking at this, that the base of that corallium arose from that stolen, but it sure does look like the ribbon extends from one base to another.
Right, and so that's exactly why I wanted to get the close-up just so we could consider those alternatives.
Right,
but
exactly.
This looks like a continuous ribbon that happens to have intersected a corallium or hemicorallium and then grown up onto it.
Actually, you know what? I will. I'm going to go ahead and back off and just watch my tether down.
And is that the same?
Are we full wide?
Wait, can we? No, Scott, did you see enough of that? I'm not sure.
I'm going to swing around.
Oh, okay, he's going to swing around. Never mind.
I don't trust the autos to hold that toe hold, and then I don't want to swing into the
standing by.
Over, so we're going to be safe.
There are open polyps on the uphill side beyond the pink and white structure that we just were looking at. And it looks as if those polyps are in a broader area encrusting the surface of the rock.
Yeah, that's what that stolen, the stolen nifris,
and it looks like it may have, that may have been the area it started in and moved along the slope and intersected both the corals.
Yeah, no say.
Oh, and the rock surface is better exposed over here. This is great.
Yep.
Yeah, oh, look how thick
So
that
wonderful.
is.
We can make both geologists and biologists happy in the same close-up.
At the same time, yes, Scott. We're both in heaven.
Here. I'll come back up.
Okay, that's good.
Oh, yeah, look at that. It's just all over the rock face.
So for those of you who are watching and listening from home, the reason we're so interested in this, we're taking so much time, is that that big red fan is a species of corallium, or coralliid genus called hemicorallium, a red coral. And there was something else growing over top of it, so we saw these white polyps, which is what that ribbon is that's encrusting over the surface. And what we're trying
try
to
my
see
best.
now
No worries.
is what happened and how it
It's not
grew
a
over
beauty
top
shot, we
of the
just
other
looked at
branch
that.
that we just
You can make it
collected.
a beauty shot, Tara.
So this is fantastic. I can see
Oh, an
where
apicofra.
we collected that branch. It's completely pink on the inside.
It
So
is.
that's the coralliid skeleton, and it's been
Yeah,
wrapped
where's that?
up in
Nope,
this
that's
other
not-
stuff that's growing like a mat or a ribbon, the so-called stoloniferous octocoral you're saying. I also see there's another
I
apicofran
know.
worm there.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Ready to munch on somebody's.
Exactly. So as if the
Yep.
stoloniferous coral incrustation isn't bad enough, we've got an apicofran waiting to come in and have some dinner.
And those
So now, just
are-
one point. This may not be a stoloniferous octocoral. It is
Okay.
growing like a mat,
Okay,
but this
video's still-
family Anthophylidae does grow kind of like this, and then I always thought that it was able to put up its
Look at
own branches and colony, but maybe it always starts by overgrowing something, much the way the zoanthids that form the gold coral start by growing on
okay.
an existing
Nice.
coral and then extend their branches from that. So
Look at
that's
the fracturing.
fascinating. This is a fantastic collection and great observations. Thank you.
What's
Oh,
our,
the
average
fracturing in the
pace
rock
need to be
surface
here?
here, right on the edge of the scarp is.
So watch leads, we're
very
happy to
scary.
hang out here if you want to continue to take a look, but Nav's going to calculate our average
We
pace
wanna
to
look
get,
at
make
that.
sure we get to the dive end. But I'll let you discuss with him what the plan will be.
Okay. Do you want to discuss with Nav what we want to do?
Well, what we would like to do is take a look at these very long branching corals over to the right. So I think we are going to need a little bit more time
Okay,
here.
let's move
Sure.
the ship.
We're still 400 meters from the end of the
Yeah.
dive right now, but we have 120 minutes, which means we need to average about .11.
Want to do a 10-meter move or something like
Yeah,
that?
something
Yeah,
that, yeah.
that'd
so
be good.
We can hang out
Just
here
right
a bit
towards me.
longer and kind of make up ground a little bit later on. Watch leads if that sounds good.
Sounds good, Nav. Thank you.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so Nav, let's get
Like
like a
one to
10-meter
outboard or
move
inboard
just
bio.
towards 070. We'll get
Inboard.
Sirius a little closer to D2 here.
070 or 0?
Yeah, it's actually more like
080.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, we don't
No.
want to. We don't want to go. We're not looking to go out over the cliff, right?
yeah, that's true.
We're just looking to skirt along the edge here.
Okay, all right.
I can kind of come
So,
down.
070 then?
Yeah.
Or is,
That is a
Yeah.
huge branch.
what is that, a
sitting on
jellyfish? There's a jellyfish there.
Very.
Where at?
Bottom right.
bridge, Nav. Hey, can we get a 10-meter
Oh,
move
wow.
at 070.2
Cannot
knots?
see.
Red bell
Oh, I
there.
see.
Yep.
There's something there.
Zoom in.
Good copy.
It is.
Nice.
Oh, good eyes, Don.
Thank you.
I didn't even see that.
I saw, but I thought it was just kind of like
You
from
thought
the
it was
lights.
flare?
I thought it was flare.
Ah, no.
Something
Trust the
floating,
man
so
who's the
we keep an eye on
pilot
every-
Okay.
for
Tilting down.
decades.
Roger.
That is an interesting jelly. Large and dark. Anybody on shore know what kind it is? It is a jelly. A coronate
He's
jellyfish,
hanging pretty
says Scott.
motionless. Is he stuck on something? Is
I'm-
there a
I'm-
tentacle?
Yeah,
Are
it
you
looks like a
floating with him?
coordinate
Okay,
jelly.
there we
We've
go.
seen this several times.
So
Yeah.
it feels like it's
Maybe
kind of
the genus
drifting to the left.
Yeah,
Periphylla
you're
or
drifting away from the
Atolla.
wall.
I don't know these deep sea jellies too well, but it's certainly a coronate.
Kinda
You can
back toward you,
see
too.
that furrow that
Oh,
divides the upper
yes.
part of the bell from the
Just go
lower part of the bell. So
forward.
that's one of the characteristics.
Sorry, he's down below.
Thank
me
But
you.
just a
after
bit,
we
but
finish
it's cool.
looking at
Okay,
this, there is a large
Can you gain-
fan
can
on
we
the
gain
left
up?
that is definitely a new bamboo coral for the day.
Yeah,
You
but I-
bet.
Gee,
Yeah, we were
Gee,
headed
Scott,
that way.
you know what,
Give it
Scott?
a shot
I
real
have
quick.
no idea what you're talking about.
Really?
There was something
Really?
large in that.
What's the matter with you? You've got to polish those
Holy
glasses on.
moly! This
Yeah,
looks.
we're kidding you,
This
Scott.
is a. There's all
We
kinds
know.
of
Yeah,
gigantic.
that's
this like
it, Tara. You just had it.
Oh,
ginormous.
but it's all washed
Wow.
out. I'm like, my
And I can take it, so keep them coming.
We know
We
you
get a few
can't,
seconds
otherwise
of
you
this and
wouldn't
maybe
do
a
it.
few seconds if we can,
Yes, we would.
in case we have both.
He might be out of the ROV lights.
Oh, he's way down there. He's way
Okay.
out of it. You want to gain up for a few seconds while I got him in here? Just get like 5-10 seconds of that. Yeah.
Just hanging there. Most of its tentacles are inside, but there is A little bit of a tentacle sticking out the bottom.
It's thinking in its little jellyfish neurons that maybe if it just stays still will go away.
Neural tissue expanded all over the top of the bell.
That's pretty neat. All right.
Cool.
And that was a good distraction.
Yes,
Now
distraction
Now we're
over.
moving.
Now we have plenty of tether to move up.
And now we are going to look at the very huge stalked fluffy stuff fan up here on the cliff. Where'd it
Might
go?
be
Where'd
the
it go?
second biggest ever
Above the
bamboo
yellow.
coral.
Yeah,
It just drops off to like 2,000
We haven't seen the biggest one yet.
it does, Pilot.
There's the
Actually,
dramatic reveal.
it drops off a
Yeah,
lot.
Nice.
There, that's the target.
Oh, Geez Louise.
Yep, a big one.
Oh my gosh, and all these like yellowish
my
ones
goodness.
too. What the heck?
These yellow ones
There's one
could be
downslope,
yellow
too. See it down
bamboo as
Yeah.
well. And
Yeah,
if you
way
look in the
down.
background, way in the distance, there's an even enormous colony.
Even more enormous than this one. That's why I said this is the second
Lasers
biggest one.
on
We haven't
for,
seen the biggest one yet.
Side of the big
Wow.
Lasers on.
I agree with Chris. These yellow ones
We
may
just
be
gotta keep a real
exciting.
close eye on the tether. With
Can we just get a
Bamboo
quick...
corals for the leg, I think.
Sure. Yeah, I'll do whatever you would like.
Yeah, I think you're
Okay,
right.
Pilot,
Scott.
and this block
whatever it is, I got to look up the name.
is
I've forgotten what you're calling
precariously
it now, what
placed.
clad it's in.
and
Well,
detached.
this may be the
from
S1
the wall.
clade,
Zoom in.
but there are yellow
Yes.
bamboos in different clades, so not entirely certain quite yet. But I will point out that this in part shows some of the diversity of the bamboo corals. It's a very large family in the deep sea,
They're
and
pretty
there's
far
lots
below
of
me. I
diversity
don't
that
wanna get
we
too far down
do
there.
not yet
Yeah,
know
yeah,
about
yeah.
or haven't yet described.
The tether might scrape along the
Wow,
cliff there.
this
So
is
as we
incredible.
zoom in, one of the things I'm seeing is that these are very thin skeletons, and the stuff in behind there, the white stuff, is bamboo coral, and the yellow is actually zoanthid overgrowing this bamboo coral.
Wow.
So this is a new bamboo coral for the dive and I think for the leg, that really thin skeleton that you see in the background that's white. And in the foreground, it's the same one overgrown with zoanthids, and we saw this exact same coral, exact same relationship last year
Rotate
on
to get
leg
both
4
white
of
and
the
yellow.
Lasers
Hawaiian
off.
Milano dives in the Johnson Atoll region.
Could you rotate to the right to
Rotate
get
to
the
the right, sure.
white and the yellow in the same shot?
Sure.
So Scott, this other one, this isn't the D1 clade, is it? I'm just looking at that white branch off to the right.
No, Chris, I'm not sure what this is, and I now regret having said let's collect that Paragorgia, because I don't think we collected this last year, but I'm going to go and check my database right now.
How's that, Tara? I know it's
Well,
not-
we're
it's kinda far
unlikely
away.
to get any more
Yeah.
rocks on
Go
this
by.
dive.
Yeah, I know. I was
And we
trying
did
to
get 3
follow the
yesterday.
tether down
That's
with the
okay.
camera
5.
to see what's going on down there.
Don't tell.
You're at 22 meters in.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
say that.
Oh, I know.
Well, we
That's
got
fine, I
3.
think, 'cause
We got
and
three.
See, it's
Yep.
pulling up.
and a,
Yeah.
And then
bunch
we
of
had
little
a sponge,
pebbles
and then we
with
got a
a
sponge that had a rock.
We can
3
push it
pebbles
a
in
That
little
had a rock on it.
And look at the larger
Wow.
stalked
Oh my gosh.
branching
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
thing up above, the white thing.
That's the oh my gosh, look at that.
Huge.
That's the same thing, Scott. That gigantic thing, that gigantic branch is the same one.
As the white
Wow.
below
No,
is
no.
encrusted.
That's different, huh?
No, this is what we would refer to as probably in the D clade. We'll let you know when we get a little bit closer. The prediction is that if we see any polyps with withdrawn tentacles, they'll look like little volcanoes on the branch.
Okay.
What I meant was you can see now in this
Move
view the
Once I
yellow
get
at the
kinda
base of the
settled,
white.
we should,
That's
zoom
all
on
one
Sirius,
colony,
too.
but this is now a second different one.
Okay.
That is cool.
And which is the one that if you
wow.
if you have like 3 wishes instead of 2, that you would collect?
Oh, the one that we were looking at just
Scimitar?
before that had the zoanthids on it.
Okay.
But I'm going to check my database.
Okay.
Partial for a moment, and I'll go for more.
As my friend Al Giddings would say, hurry.
I'm going to zoom in on Sirius, too.
Yeah, it's already open.
Oh my.
Are you taking more?
Have to
zoom?
really zoom in there to see.
Ah.
You want to poke it? Get them to close up?
I don't know if I want to disturb it.
I'm sorry.
I'm happy to
Didn't
take a
mean
sample
it.
if you want.
I
but-
really didn't.
Yeah, we're
mean
waiting to. We're waiting
You
to
just
see
wanna
if
pan
this
up very
is.
slowly.
Little prop
Sample
wash wouldn't
worthy.
hurt.
Sort of scroll across it.
So just based on the overall shape and size of this colony, before even looking at the polyps, Les and I were suggesting perhaps this might be in the genus Ecnomyces, which is a genus he and I described
Is that
3 or 4 years ago. But as I look at it from this distance, it looks to me like it's reflecting too much white. The polyps are reflecting too much white, which usually means there are a lot of scales
And I'll get
in the
lasers on it
tissue.
for you.
Roger.
And so I don't think that would be Ecnomyces. That might be
Lasers
more in the
Look at the
Jasonitis clade.
fluid series.
And I'll
Get
see
a
what
full
Les has
zoom
to
too.
say with
was just
that.
partial.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Les is thinking Ecnomyces or
Invasive
relative.
lasers. Good.
Ecnomyces.
And I did check, and
Oh,
the
here we go.
that other thing we were just looking at a moment ago, we did not collect.
That's a great shot. So
In a second, you're going to see a very close-up view. See any closed polyps
No,
there?
I'm not seeing any closed polyps.
Yeah,
here.
I do.
Oh yeah, there's one.
Up near the top.
Yeah, over on
And it does have a puka in the top. Volcano
Yeah,
sighting.
the other thing that would be helpful is if when we saw a branch, could you tell if the branch is coming from a node or not?
Oh, okay. So we'll
Okay,
Oh,
just
there's a
count
branch
it.
on the
Partial,
lower
and we'll look for
left.
that node.
Branch.
There was a branch on the lower left, little
No,
branch.
If you see anything, Tara.
Okay.
Oh,
It's-
golly, hard
I'm
to
not
tell.
branches
Can
here.
you-
Dark
Yeah,
node,
zoom
there's
in a little bit,
one just to the left of
please.
the-
On the
Are you
big
doing that,
branch
Don,
in the
or-
I
lower
am. No, I want to look down here
Okay.
at this tether.
lower
Yeah, no,
left.
thanks. I just want to make sure I wasn't
Lower
pulling you.
center, big branch, V
Just
I
shape.
think we're going off
Yeah,
into
above
the
the
abyss.
lasers.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think we're
just
okay.
above the laser on the right.
Right there?
Oh, that's good, but a little bit further down that down that branch, right
Down
there,
that
where
branch.
Not Not
the node.
looking like they are, Scott. It
No,
doesn't
it's
look
like
they're
it's
coming.
right
It's
above the node.
internodal.
Yep, right above the
Internodal
node.
branch.
Okay, great. So this is probably Ecnomyces. And one thing that's interesting, you know, obviously from its size, we know that it's old, but also I just noticed there before you zoomed in, on the left lower part of the colony, there are some really thick, swollen parts of the branch or the main stem. And what we see in the really old colonies is that towards the base,
not quite.
the tissue can deposit new calcium carbonate
closer to
over
that.
nodes. And so that may be what's
That's
going
what's
on
the
there.
base, yeah.
Go to the base?
Would it
Wow.
be to strengthen the? Oh, I see what's happening over there on the. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I think that's a
wow.
good guess, Shirley,
Yeah.
that they're strengthening
Fascinating.
the branches.
Can understand why.
There you
That's
go.
a huge animal colony.
Wow, there's anemones or something. So
All right, do you have what you need,
Okay.
Washley?
that sponge has anemones. in it.
Stand by, please. Okay. What are we thinking, guys?
Tara, you zoomed in on Sirius?
Yeah,
I'll go
it's-
back
We can
wide,
also see
please.
the base of this
Thank you.
skeleton has no tissue, and then a little bit higher up you see where the pinkish tissue begins.
Yeah, we're looking good. You can see D2's tethers coming
Okay,
straight up.
and
Yeah,
the
yeah, I've got 24.
one on the
You could probably come down
bottom
to, like,
that's lower,
21.
that's covered
Okay,
with
all right.
yellow. That
Just
is
couldn't see what was
new
going on over here,
species
Yeah, definitely appreciate the caution.
that has not ever been collected. Is that what you're saying? Okay, we're going to look. Pilot,
Yeah.
we'd like to look at the one that's covered with yellow again, please. We
Down
want to take a
below?
look at the, yes, we want to see the branching pattern on it as well,
Okay.
please.
All right. I can zoom in and I'll come down just a hair.
Roger. Yeah, any more light you can give me would be enough hold there.
You want me
Okay,
to bring
Shirley, is this
the
internodal?
starboard light
No.
lower boom around?
No, let's
No?
just keep them in.
Okay.
All right, what are we looking for exactly?
We want to look at where it's branching
yellow?
to see what the branching pattern is.
On the yellow one.
More, yeah, well,
More in the
more on
white.
the white part
More on
of
the
that
white part.
one that's covered by
Okay,
yellow.
so pan to the.
Tilting up.
I think that might be a different coral.
Okay, yeah, can you tilt up
Yeah,
a
so
bit,
we
Don?
need.
Yep.
I think we need the. Is this the right one?
Yeah. Up near the top
Right.
is good.
Zoom in.
Top. Okay.
Wow. Hard to tell.
All right, I'll hold this for a minute,
Oh,
and then
oh,
I'll
you
get
got
a
my
tighter
camera.
shot.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in on your camera, not my
Oh.
phone. Sorry.
Pilot, I was thinking a little bit over to the left
The
on that
left, okay.
far branch. There's several branches coming off. So if you go up,
Up and to the left. Right up here?
yeah, in that area, and it close there. Oh, look, it does look like it's coming out of a node.
It does.
It
Yeah,
does.
it sure does.
Yep.
It does.
Zoom in tighter.
Yep. You can see the black rings around the
So
central
like go by what? Like where one of those black,
arm
where one of those
of
black rings
or branches.
might be.
Or,
Yeah,
yeah,
right
the black
below
rings.
center.
Those look like nodes.
Okay, so that's a good observation. If it looks like it's coming out of the node, then there's a good possibility that this is indeed Isidella, unless suggested Isidella trichotoma. So that's
Do we
one
have time
suggestion.
to, pan along this branch that's closer to us over.
And Scott, that would make it a less
Zoom tight.
attractive
Just tilts up
collection
and kind of
candidate,
very
right?
slowly and
That is
you can
correct,
see-
Chris. If
Want me
it
to
is
tilt up
Isidella
slowly or-
Just
trichotoma,
tilt
that
up.
is known from
Either
Hawaii.
just tilt up, I think, very slowly.
Okay.
and
Okay.
Then we can get a bit more of a.
It's going to be hard when
Wider
we're
shot.
zoomed in to go.
I understand.
So I'll do my best here. That's about as slow as I can go. It's zoomed in.
It's all right. That'll help.
Maybe you can slow it
And then
down.
I'll just hold this for a second.
All right.
No, I think we're good. I think they found exactly what it was that they needed in terms of the morphological characteristics to help them come to an identification.
Okay.
Okay, let me hold this.
So we are
Okay,
good to
we're
go.
ready Yep, I think we're
Okay.
good to go.
Okay. We're just going
See
to
what
get just
more-
a few more seconds for videos highlight, and then
Okay.
we'll move on. How's that?
That's great. Yeah.
I'll
All
tilt
right.
down a bit. Okay. Happy with that?
Yep.
Look at that huge
Unless it
one
looks
down
like it was just slightly above.
there. Okay. Is that all one?
So we
roll
have
there?
about an hour and a half left.
Looks like it,
Can you
doesn't
zoom-
it?
let's just zoom
Yeah,
partial
like,
real
yes,
quick.
hour and a
Real
half.
quick.
Looks like it is. But,
More of
oh,
it.
wait.
Yeah.
Looks like a few different.
Hard
Might
to
be
tell.
All
Yeah.
over
So that's
the wall.
Yeah. no, I think there's
Ecnomyces.
several.
Ecnomyces is the larger one, and
All right, we can zoom
Isidella is
All right,
the
watch Lee. What did you want to see?
smaller one. Are we ready to move on?
Wow,
Okay.
it's quite the garden here.
It is quite the
Octopus's garden.
Yeah, we are. I think we're ready to
Yep,
move along
we
this.
are.
Do you want to move along the this
scarp.
wall?
Well,
you want to walk
Along
the scarp?
top of the wall. I'm sure we'll see things. If you want to move on the wall, that's fine with me.
You wanna get
I'm
another
loving
move
the
going then?
exposures
Yeah,
of
we
rocks.
could-
Another 10
could
or
we move along
15 or so, just
this
to see
wall,
we
like
might
towards
find
the
some
top
more
of the
good
wall?
stuff up
Certainly
here.
can, because that's our general direction anyway. So
Yep.
Okay, great. Thank you.
let's do.
Here's dive in.
Let's just do
Shirley,
like a
and here we
20
are.
meter move. Just maybe not even.
We have an hour and a
Yeah,
half.
that's what I'm saying. 10 or 15,
Let's do
maybe.
15.
Yeah.
Along
Just
7
verse
or 8.
and
7
zero.
Incredibly
come over?
steep scarp
075
here.
maybe.
This is what Derek Sowers was telling us
Let's
when
just
we
we'll do
first got
070
here.
again.
Okay.
I think
That in
works.
some places the
You tilt up.
slope
Yeah, I
on
was
the
going to say
scarp
if we
that
go a
is
little
to
bit
the right
more
of
to
your
the
field of view is
east,
80
then maybe it
degrees,
brings Sirius
almost
out over
vertical.
the edge, and we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
I guess we're all right here, too.
Yeah, I mean,
Whatever.
Let's just do it. Let's do 075, and we'll get a little bit off the wall, and then maybe we can come down a bit.
Okay.
I'm just, I don't
Yeah.
want to get too sidetracked down
Right.
there,
Yeah.
because we still have to make
Hey,
pace.
can we get a 15? That's 1 5-meter move, 075 degrees, 0.2 knots.
So are we on the edge of that steep wall that was on the
We-
east side?
Yes, we definitely are.
copy.
Right on it.
So that is interesting because I noted in the event log earlier that I wondered if we would see the composition of species change once we got here, and I think we can say that we have.
Indeed. Look at how huge this is.
And that suggests that the flatter part of the ridge, there are corals more adapted to live there than here where the currents would be accelerated over this edge.
Right.
You can kill lasers here.
Lasers off.
And that was a 075, right?
That's what he called in, yes.
Yeah, just I'm gonna try not to get too distracted on the ledge.
So I'm surprised we're not seeing like lots of stalked crinoids here.
Yeah, we
No,
did
or-
in other places where there
Yeah,
were steep
Yeah, or
scarps.
basket stars.
Right. Yeah, I was
No,
thinking
it
maybe
really-
one of these were basket stars, but they are not.
No,
Is
no,
that-
we're
Look
seeing
at the
another
coiled-
Is that
Iridogorgia.
Iridogorgia?
It is.
Nice.
It is. I'm impressed.
That's amazing.
All right, go ahead and zoom in. And hold there.
Hold it.
Wow, all
Oh,
kinds
and
of
I-
sponges.
Mind if I take
and-
a little more?
Oh man.
Go ahead.
Wow, look at these Iridogorgias.
Yeah, beautiful.
I'm not sure if the
coils.
one over to the right is Metallogorgia or if
Come
it's just
down.
looking down on the. No, I think it's
No,
just
it's-
looking
it's
down on the top of
Iridogorgia.
another
Yeah,
Iridogorgia.
Just a touch more.
Oh,
Come on
And there's
over.
another one below this.
Sponge
They
behind
do
it?
like the
White thing?
currents. You can see their arms moving in either prop wash or current.
current, I think.
Yeah, you think. Could be.
Gosh, that's pretty.
So Les Watling is saying this one that we're looking at is Magnus spiralis, but the one to the right is something different.
Okay.
Plurigorgia? Isn't that pretty? That is so
Iridogorgia,
pretty.
Okay,
Chrysogorgia.
let's tilt down to
Also.
the end now.
Okay. Sorry, it's
I'll
little
come in
fast.
a little closer as we go to the end. Oh, let me just hold this for a minute.
We are coming to you live from
We
the
are.
NOAA ship
Okeanos
Okeanos.
Explorer.
No,
Looking
it's
at blowing
tough.
in here.
Yeah,
Who gets
it's
it?
moving a lot.
Are we full wide?
Nope.
We're at a place called Boat
Nice,
Seamount.
Thank you.
Tether's
Sorry,
looking
Boat
good.
Geo.
You could probably tell
It
I
is
was
a
eyeing
seamount.
that
It is a seamount. We're at
And what is
one,
the gray, fluffy looking stuff that is all over the face to the right of half of the screen?
well, looks like they're more corals.
Yep.
Not sure what kind. Yeah. You can see now that
And Russ is
the
right.
cur-
Excuse me, Les
Les-
is right that that's something different
Yep.
to the
Right, and we did. And
big
Asako
thing
mentioned
to the
that we
left.
see a Chrysogorgia as well.
These look different.
What are these?
Are we done
Do
with
a
that?
snap
Feeling that
zoom
move,
of these.
Sandy?
Yeah, pilot, can we do a snap zoom of these other smaller
that?
white branches, please?
Sure. Zoom in.
We should.
We're just starting to feel the
Yeah, we
Sirius
should just
move
be
now.
feeling it
Want
in
these
about
guys?
now or
Yeah.
30
Holding
seconds.
partial.
Okay. Sorry, I just lost track of time. How long had it been?
So this is quite
Chris says Rodana.
No, I think he's talking-
What is this? I'm gonna pan right.
Did
Look
I
at
say
a
that
gray
right?
one, but I see
Yeah, I think he was talking
purple.
about the other Iridogorgia.
Is that a-
Well, the one that looked like
Oh, wow.
Iridogorgia.
So there was one that we
Amazing.
passed
Right.
by that kind of had a bottle brush appearance,
Right.
and I was trying to check with
Right.
Scott and Les
Okay, to
as to
come in a
whether
bit.
that was
Right.
Hold on,
something that could be Chrysogorgia splendens or Rodana Iridogorgia.
Okay, what are we
The
looking
ones
at
you're
right now?
looking at right now are possibly Plurigorgia.
Yeah, the fan-like ones here are definitely Plurigorgia, which is another genus in the family Chrysogorgiidae. And the one with this beautiful purple crinoid on it is a genus Chrysogorgia in the family Chrysogorgiidae. And one of the things as we're passing on the face of this wall that I'm reminded of is the last dive that we had on last fall's expedition, where we also went up a very steep wall
You want
at
to
the
still pan over to the other
base of the
coral
summit
on
of a
I'll
geo,
just hold this.
and we found this wall full of these Chrysogorgiid colonies that we did not recognize. We were able to collect one. There were hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them, different from what we're seeing here, but it's fascinating to see this same relatively high density on this wall.
And Shirley, what are the in the background? You see a lot of sort of yellow blobs or white blobs on the face of the rock.
Okay,
I
let's
think
zoom
that's
out.
what
Are they
what Bob
just
Carney called
stalks?
yesterday
Do we have
biofuzz.
time for an establishing?
It's not fuzzy. These look
Yeah, I see
like
what you're looking at.
they look
Yep,
like
I'm
the
just gonna hold this for a
bases of
couple
attachments
Yeah.
and things
just
that
so
may
we
have fallen off.
Have the shot. Great.
And then there are fluffy sponges right
Ooh,
along the
Look
edge.
at this big sponge right here.
That's a Walteria. That's that.
Wow.
Yep. We've
we
seen
have
those
seen that
actually
one.
down deeper, a little bit deeper.
Oh boy.
Another Corallidae. Oh, isn't this
Should probably
pretty?
get another 10.
Isn't this pretty? A
Was that
few
10 or
more.
15?
That
Wow.
That was 15, yeah.
Do you want to call another 15?
Yeah, I can. We're not. We'll still have 3 minutes or so in this move, but yeah, I can get another one stacked on top.
Sure.
Foxards.
Yeah.
Same direction, 7.5.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yep.
I just want to make sure we keep moving along the edge and not do too much.
So could we
vertical
take a look
distance.
at that little stock crinoid that's
Bridge.
coming now toward the center?
Yes.
You're over the
Yeah, we're
edge
gonna
now a
get the
little
same
bit,
move.
though.
1.5 meters,
Yeah.
0.75 degrees, 0.2 knots.
Yes, go ahead. Watch lead. 5 o'clock crinoid. Okay. And then I'm going to stay at this depth. I don't want to go too far down below the edge of the cliff here.
I don't
Roger
blame
So
that.
we'll zoom in from right here.
Hey, pilot, should I bring your sonar in then?
you. Why I
Yes,
wouldn't.
please.
Not
Go
with
ahead.
those overhangs and fractures up there.
Hold. Zoom in.
Excellent. So there's a paper that just came out last month by Vanessa Tunnicliffe on the stocked crinoids from Indonesia from the 2009 Okeanos Explorer mission to Indonesia. And this looks like one of the species that she has in that
Something
manuscript.
of the
Chris
series
Ma
came
alerted me to this, and I was able to download it.
Pyrosoma, maybe.
But a really great reference. Now I got to go look up what it is.
Okay.
And
Okay,
we can
zoom
see.
out.
We'll
Yeah.
wait. We'll hear from you
Yeah,
later.
we're going to stay pretty much at this depth as we move along the wall. We're
I
not
don't
going to
need
get
to wait,
under.
just-
Yeah, we don't have to wait. We're not
I'll
waiting.
chime in later if I find the name.
Yep. No worries.
Understood.
So I'm going to come up a bit, watch lead, and I want to.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be good.
I want to focus our
That would be good.
vision up here.
Okay, another one of these
There we go.
hexactinellid sponges that looks like it's got kind of the tissue kind of whirling around it.
Yeah, these are amazing.
Spiral. Oh, no, maybe not. Maybe that's not the same
That is a
one.
dramatic
No, it's not the same one.
Feature, isn't it? I'm going to just take a look here. Ooh, let's
Climbing and a little bit of an overhang, too,
Mhm.
perhaps.
Oh, my gosh.
Come up
Wow.
more big coral.
Yeah, we
things.
have
Yeah,
a
it's definitely
very
undercut
jagged
there,
surface
isn't
of the cliff here and a lot of overhangs.
Living
So
on the
it
edge.
is, it is really good for the ROV
cool.
not to be snuggled in underneath that. Really good.
This is such a strange feature.
Wow, look at that big fan sponge. Looks like it's got either
It looks like it
brittle
has
stars or crinoids
feet
on the inside,
under
on,
it,
on
yeah.
the
Yeah.
underside of it.
That is interesting.
Please
That-
zoom in on that
yeah,
sponge
that
when
would
we
be
get
Fan.
closer.
Yep.
That would be fun to see.
Saka Matsumoto says, Chrysogorgia world, indeed.
Definitely crinoid, says Tara. Oh boy, yes, this one is living on the
it's-
edge.
Yeah. Let's do quickly this, and then we'll.
Oh. That's pretty nice.
That is a good zoom. Wow.
And you can see those spicule brushes coming out
yes,
at the top.
you can.
Beautiful.
Pokey and unpleasant to touch.
Beautiful view of the excurrent pores, the oscules, and if you take a real close look in between those larger openings, you can see the much tinier ones that are
Zoom in.
likely the incurrent
You can zoom in.
openings, and you can see the base of it. After we zoom out, you'll be able to see the base of it and how it's attached with kind of spicule brushes to the surface
out.
of the rock.
Just to the edge of the cliff.
And
Makes you
let's see
wonder
I'm
how it's
looking here.
hanging on.
Okay, so that's pretty much the top of that thing. All right, we'll be okay. I'll come out and get you the view you want, Tara, and then we'll move out.
Hi, this is Nolan from Harbor Branch. So you were mentioning the spicule brushes attaching the sponge to the sediment or to the rock. Is it a glue that they're secreting, or are they just gripping the rock relatively tightly with the spicule brushes?
Yeah, Nolan, that's a really good question. I asked Chris Kelly that question the other day because I was wondering how they were able to do that. And my guess is that there's some tissue and cellular material that allows it to grip on as well. And I think Chris was also saying it was kind of the spicules there are kind of like almost like Velcro, so it's kind of attaching to those little tiny micro crevices in the rock. But that's an excellent question.
Yeah, and some of them actually might have curved ends on the ends of the spicules that form little hooks that they can hook into little holes and things.
We might have to change heading temporarily, but he'll let me
All right, thank you so much.
And we have a crinoid that is fanning its arms about.
That's very cool. Lots of stuff on this stalk. Dead coral stalk. Oh, more of those fan sponges over on the right.
They're
Gigantic. Oh my gosh, look at these.
There's some interesting stuff on the other side of that sponge. I just want to do a quick snap zoom. There's
Okay.
a bunch of crinoids. See that?
Yep. That would be great.
I know video had requested it, so just real quick. We'll,
Yeah, no, that's great.
okay. Zoom in.
Yep, these were noted earlier. Lots of them, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And
I guess
looking
taking
at the
advantage of the
underside.
bigger particles that can't make it through
7.
those
a tiny one at
pores
the
on the sponges.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a pre-filter.
Yeah,
Can you zoom out?
keep it from getting
Oh,
clogged
beautiful.
up.
Do you like it? You want to frame it up? We'll just frame it up, and then I'll push in a little bit.
Ah, more on the underside. I count 11 now. Wow.
All right, Andy, do you want to just check in with watch leads about what they want to do here? Is that full wide?
Hey, watch leads, is Nav.
Go ahead, Nav.
Hey, I know this is a lot of really cool stuff here, so I just want to check in. Do we want to keep hanging out here, and kind of not make the waypoint the ultimate destination here?
That's a good question, which I shall relay to folks on shore. The question from our navigator is that if we hang out here, we are less likely to make it all the way to our last waypoint. And the question is, what would we like to do, folks? Up to you.
What time do we have to leave the bottom?
Sorry.
I think 3:30 or so.
I was going to ask for a quick zoom, but I think we've already gone past it, so
About 3:30.
I will now be quiet.
Okay. Chris, as this was proposed by you, how critical is it to get to the end point here in terms of, fully categorizing everything that we see along this track?
Sorry, but before Chris chimes in, can we get a zoom? Here's another one. Is this going off the left side of the frame? It's the leggy thing, not this big, huge thing, but the leggy thing up above at about 10 o'clock.
Yes.
Sort of pinky.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so up at 10 o'clock,
All right.
10 or 11 o'clock, we want to get a zoom in on that,
We'll get
please.
Scott, what do you want?
Just a quick zoom or a zoom?
Zoom,
Well, I
zoom.
don't recognize it at all, so
So
a
it's a
quick
zoom.
zoom will let you know if it's something worth
Something.
looking at.
Something new. Okay.
Hold there.
Oh, some anemones as well.
That magnificently large thing just below it was the one that we were looking at earlier with the yellow.
Right.
Which was Isidella? Is that the one you said,
Creep in
Isidella?
closer.
Yeah, that's our best guess, Isidella,
Okay,
correct.
okay.
And I'm thinking this is another bamboo coral here.
Yep.
And I'm trying to see
Yep.
some nodes, but you
Yeah.
know, something like this,
It's
not quite so stringy, might be called Okeanos weberi in the Hawaii area.
Chris, I can see I'm a little ahead of you, and branches are coming out of nodes.
Yeah, we need to see the nodes more than the polyps right now.
No, now, if we can just get a brief view of the polyps so that we can look at it later, that would be great. Thank you.
I'm going to zoom toward the back there. Or focus toward the back.
Thanks. The way that's branching at the base, that does look like what people are calling Okeanos weberi up in the Hawaii area. So that's definitely new for today. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Oh, thank you,
Scott's happy.
Chris. Okay, so we're happy with that, pilots.
Okay, full wide.
I still don't have an answer yet. Nav and pilots, I don't have an answer yet whether we want to keep moving on fast or... So, folks on shore, there really is a need to know whether we want to move the ship and get up further up the slope or keep looking at this fascinating ledge.
Right, so what's the distance to the endpoint? How close are we to it right now?
Stand by.
We're still about 400 meters from it.
400 meters.
Yeah.
We have about a little over an hour.
400 meters and... Yeah, we have an hour and 8 minutes or so.
Look at all this nice stuff that we have here.
So that seems a bit of a stretch for just an hour, so I would suggest the best use of time would be to continue to document this wall.
Okay.
And
Sounds
maybe
great.
we can just move along it, and if we see some new stuff, zoom in on it. And because obviously this is where it's happening, at least on this little promontory. So there's a lot of animals here. There's quite a lot of diversity, so it'd be a productive way to spend the rest of the dive.
Okay.
Should probably get
That-
another
We got
move
that.
going too.
That sounds great. Yeah, let's get Sirius off the wall, and now that we know we can hang out here, that
Then,
helps. So, yeah.
What do you
What do you think, Don? Let's,
090? You want
yeah.
to take it out further?
Take it out a little ways.
Yeah, let's
Go
go like
out.
15
Yeah.
meters, like 090.
Yeah, 085 or 090, I would say, but
Dan, can we
Yeah,
get a closer
085.
view of that
Yep.
coral that's on
15
the branch
meters,
up at about
085.
11 o'clock, please?
get your eraser out.
Let's
Light
make it
pink.
08. No, I'm
The light
just
pink
joking.
one?
joking.
Next
Go
to
ahead,
the-
watch lead. Sorry.
Yeah, that. Take a look at that feathery coral up at coming around 12 o'clock.
Okay. Up above, huh?
Yeah, just up.
Okay.
Yes, just up above.
All right.
Copy. Good copy.
I'm thinking now as I get closer to that it might just be another Iridogorgia maybe? Or no,
I
what did
think-
wait, what did Asako call it? Plurogorgia?
Partial. Just frame it up.
Roger. Assuming partial.
Hold there.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah,
it's
oh.
pretty though.
This is
And
what-
the
Oh,
little
I
You're
didn't
right
look-
first time, Shirley.
I know.
Oh
to
my
get you a
gosh,
good
and
view
look
here.
at
The
the
bubblegum.
corral. Oh
Tilt
my
up just a
gosh,
bit.
look at that over to the right,
Nice.
the corallium.
I've
Hold
got
that.
this, the
Yeah.
legend
Looks
life.
like a bonsai.
It does.
I like it.
It's beautiful.
Gosh, it's
Legend
pretty.
life.
It does look like a bonsai.
So this may be on the left. I can't quite see inside, but maybe Rodan
Zoom out of
Iridogorgia.
here.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Rodan,
What's
like
saying
the
of
monster
Iridogorgia? I'm
Rodan?
trying to see.
Well, Les is written in.
Yeah, I don't think it's named after that, but that is correct. RHODAN.
Do you wanna-
Les is written in
do you wanna
Very
closer
closely
zoom, or
related
is that
to-
good for ID?
Very closely related to
Iridogorgia.
Iridogorgia, but
Iridogorgia?
Iridogorgia?
Les has suggested something else, but
he just mistyped it.
oh, thank you. Yeah, these are the kinds of things
Yeah, so
I
he's
wouldn't
saying I might
know.
be right that maybe this is Rodan Iridogorgia, which is a very closely related genus to Iridogorgia.
Back off
And instead of
come down a
having
bit.
kind of definite wide spirals, it's more of a wavy axis. So it's kind of like if you took a straight stem, grabbed it from the top, and twisted it instead of having it grow in coils.
Got it. Great description.
Are we full wide?
So there is a large fluffy colony above these bamboos that I don't think we've come across before. Maybe as we're working our way that way, we might get a peek at that if it's possible.
Is that directly above this cluster?
Yes,
Chris?
Yes, that's correct. It's got the finer branches and very dense fine branches, and it's about the same size, so a big colony also.
Okay.
Okay, we'll make our way around up there.
All right. Thank you, pilot.
Mind if I zoom to get rid of the skids?
Go ahead.
I think there's one of those purple crinoids on the tip of one of these branches.
I'm going to slowly
Do you see
tilt
that,
up.
Shirley? It might be right in front of the pilot's
Yeah, we can
head for
zoom in
you.
real quick on
Yeah,
that
there
crinoid,
it is.
Roger.
just to confirm.
They are really pretty.
Yeah.
Look at those cirri wrapped around the tip of that branch.
Oh. Going a little partial.
Yeah, there we go.
It's really camouflaged. All right, let me just hold that for a couple
I
seconds.
will try. I'll tilt down a hair for you.
Perfect.
There we go. Sorry, bobbing
It's
around
okay.
a bit. Let's try this. It's a little better.
Thank you, pilot.
Okay, zoom out.
Zooming out. Yep. Gonna get rid of the skids.
Okay.
So where is the colony, Chris? Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Oh
Now
my goodness.
We
look
have
at
enough
how
tether now,
how
so we'll go over there.
delicate
Oh
it
my
is.
gosh.
Incredibly
These things
delicate.
are just massive here.
They are
we come full wide?
indeed.
I'm
You're
tilted up.
full. Oh, yes.
There we go.
Full white.
Yeah. And everything look good to you, Don?
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, this fluffy thing looks interesting. I'm going
Moving
to
in.
guess, just for guessing's sake, before we get the zoom, that it might be a black coral.
Ooh. Where's Tina? Oh, Tina must have gone to bed.
Yeah, Scott, I would agree with that. I just mentioned that to Michael Park here, that it could
Tilt
be one
down
of those
serious
as
and get
well.
a
I don't
zoom
know
in
what
there.
else it would be.
That is cool.
Well, I'm not sure. Les just put in a note that a new genus related to
Turn a little bit.
Rodan iridogorgia. I'm not sure if he's referring to this big
All right, you can zoom in
branching
on,
thing, but I think he
these
may
two.
be, because it is kind of Chrysogorgiid-like, and it does have some little
Okay, that's just
spiraling branches.
We're done feeling.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Chrysogorgid,
Yeah.
Chrysogorgid.
Wow.
Wow.
Look at that. Wow.
What is this?
Well, Les says he is working on a description of this species as we speak.
So, new
The
species.
branching iridogorgia, so that's a new one.
What would you like, Tara? I can certainly try. So I'm going to move back a bit just so I don't accidentally bump it. Get closer now. Tilt up, see if we can get. I'm gonna. Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to tilt up, see if we get a dark background, but we'll get this for now. Okay, we'll tilt up. How's that? Bobbing a lot. Well, let's come out, and I'm drifting back now that I tried to push away. I'll get a little closer. So what's the word watch lead?
About what?
Do we have enough? Do we want to get more imagery of this, or?
So
Oh, we're
maybe
good.
we can
We're good.
carry on and see if
Yeah,
we can
carry
find
on.
a few more
Okay,
things.
we'll do a
We
quick
Yep,
can
carry
update
on.
that.
Okay.
Yep,
we're
we
gonna
can-
do a quick
we can
zoom and
move
then we'll
on.
move on.
Okay, yep, and if you want to look from your Sirius view, you
Hold.
can actually see this gigantic, gigantic coral.
Hey, how old would this thing be?
Wait, you're on mute. Okay, now you can talk.
Sirius, first for scale, for those looking at the Sirius view, the vehicle is about 9 feet tall, right? Something like that.
Hey, watch this. How old would this be?
Okay, so question is, how old would this be? And I surely don't know the answer to it. It's been here. It's been here a while. We don't know how long. Anybody want to venture a guess? Tens of years, hundreds of years?
Thousands.
Well, given that we're just describing the species, I guess we don't know much about it.
Right.
But some of the aging studies that have
Okay.
been done, it's very easy to say that these bamboo corals, anyway,
I'm gonna come
next
up
to
a
it
bit.
are many
Okay.
decades
Keep an
old,
eye
if
on
not
that ledge.
hundreds of years old.
Coming up.
I'm not sure
You see the
about the
shadow
rate
of
of
it there.
growth of the
Don't get too far below
Chrysogorgiids
it.
and the Iridogorgias. They have thinner skeletons. Maybe they grow a little bit faster.
Okay.
But my impression of this entire wall
Illuminate it for you.
is that it is quite stable. I'd love to hear what Patty has to think about that.
Okay.
And, you know, many of these corals have been here for hundreds of years, is my guess.
Take a look out the distance.
Well,
see
to
what
tell
we
you the
can do.
truth, I was just looking as we were panning across the face of the wall, and I'm seeing
It's
very
fairly-
pale
like it's running
colored
fairly linear.
material
Yeah, right over
exposed beneath the manganese crust. And so I think
Okay, get another move going?
we
Yeah,
are
definitely.
indeed looking at, very likely
Nav.
looking at coralline exposures.
Hey, Nev.
So this
we're gonna-
would be an
Should we keep
ancient
20 meters.
coral reef deposit, which is
that
not
up on
surprising as we're close
Which one?
to the upper edge of a
something
flat
like
top
rope-like
geo.
looking
So this would be
laying
like
down
what we
there.
saw at subducting geo 1.
What heading do you think, Don?
Uh,
What do you wanna do?
And it has
I think like a-
manganese
yeah,
coating
probably
that's
more
fairly
like,
thin.
6.5 or 7.0.
In
Yeah, I was
order
thinking
to
7.0.
permit me to be able to
Let's do,
see the
20
pale
meters,
colored stuff underneath.
0.70.
So, you know, if we can
Oh, it's just
estimate the
fractures
growth
in
of
the
rate of
rock.
the
There's
manganese,
just
maybe
like
we can get
shadows
close
that
to how
look like
old the
something laying
surface is
Bridge now.
after the fracture
Back
took
up.
place.
Hey, new move.
I leave that up
20
to the
meters,
manganese
070,
experts.
0.2 knots.
That's why we have the footballs on that tether.
Whoa, this is a big thing.
Correct.
I'm going to come back
Yeah.
down a bit.
Yep.
Okay.
We'll be coming off at about 22 after the hour, which is a little bit less than an hour, like 57 minutes or so. There are all kinds of things. But look at all the yellow, see the very pale exposures? That looks like coral deposits from reef building activity. I think so, Shirley, because that is the way a lot of the stuff looked. I mean, very likely it's got a thin patina of manganese oxide on it, but that doesn't seem to be organisms growing on the surface. It's more like it's exposures of the underlying rock.
You want to zoom in a bit on the rock, Tara? I'll try to get a little closer. Okay.
So the thing to look at when we zoom in on the rocks is to see if we see any bivalve shells exposed, any ribs or shell-like structures that we saw so much of when we were diving on subducting geo number 1. Yes, right. Not living bivalves, but rather fossils in layers from a Cretaceous reef, 100 million years old or so. Do you have enough room? Do you have enough room?
Zoom out, Tara. Zoom around us.
Thank you, pilot. Really haven't seen any fish. But we would see, if this wall were attracting a lot of fish, we would see them in the Sirius view. Just swing around in the lights from the ROV. Yeah. Tiny ones we might miss, but any larger fish. And very few. Yeah, there are very few here. We were our very best. Well, tried. It's very hard when the fish get disturbed by prop wash or, you know, proximity of a large glowing predator. And a bubblegum coral beneath.
What's that mesh down there? Is that another?
Oh, what is this? Does
Zoom
that look
in?
like a dead sponge with a whole bunch of things on it? Up the top? There's a tumbleweed in the crack. This is the same beautiful, delicate thing that Chris saw earlier.
Okay, we can zoom out. And what did you see? Thought you saw a sponge or something?
On the upper
Oh,
right,
upper right,
at
yeah.
11, 1 o'clock, yeah. Dead sponge, but it's got crinoids all over it.
Can zoom in. That's a lot of crinoids.
That is a lot of crinoids. And a squat lobster inside.
You need to turn your head, Don.
Yep.
And very close image of the arms.
Coming back, Tara. All right, you want to zoom out?
The next move, we should probably go more to the north.
Yeah. Looks like it's going to start curving.
Yep.
That's what it looks like here, too.
Pilot, watch lead.
Pilot, you've got a hard return directly off the starboard there, but I believe it's just the
Pilot, I wonder if we
Little
could
outcrop.
zoom on
Yeah.
the rocks here. They are a little better exposed.
How about right here?
This looks good.
Zoom in.
Yep. Right here and maybe above. Okay, folks, we're trying to look to see if the exposed pale colored rock material
Color. Okay.
looks as if it may have any shells in it.
Can zoom in.
Actually, more over to the right
More
where
over to the
it's
right.
just pale yellow or tan,
Okay.
because that would be the exposed rock underneath.
Under the manganese. Or
Under the manganese, right. But to the rock, there was a larger area. Yeah. Okay, here we go. So the kind of thing we saw exposed in the
Go
reef
ahead.
material on the previous dive, a couple of dives, were arcuate shell
Yep, go ahead.
fragments
as long
and
as
that
it's
sort
about
of
the
thing.
A-frame.
Hard to
and it is
tell.
about the A-frame, yes. Copy.
Well, it is covered partially with manganese, so it is masked.
Okay. Is that a good view?
Well,
Patty?
that was a help. Thank you, pilot.
Okay. And zoom out.
Are those hydroids all on that sponge that were right next to the rock? Look at all the stuff on the right, Shirley.
I know. It's just amazing.
These cliffs are just wonderful
So
for
this
biology.
is totally different from any of the other sites that we've been on.
We keep saying
Diva,
that, though.
Diva and Deb, does this look like anything that you dove on during leg one?
Hey, Shirley, this is Deb. We actually saw several different sites that looked a lot more like this. So this was something that we saw several times on leg one.
Very cool.
Sounded like a bit of leg competition going on there.
No, not at all. They definitely win on hits.
Well, I can tell you both that the next leg that I'm going to be on is going to beat you both.
Really?
Oh, boy.
Well, yours is going to be a
Ship is
lot
also rotating
longer.
about the
Well, the glove has been thrown.
Yeah, you're going to run out of yogurt a lot sooner than we did.
070.
God, we ran out of that a week ago. Okay, look at this. I don't know if they can see no, they probably can't see the images from the cameras in down by the bins.
Right.
Oh my gosh, this is just beautiful. Beautiful.
We are having a shift change out here, and we are coming to you live from the Okeanos Explorer, America's ship for ocean exploration. And we are exploring unknown areas of the Mariana Trench National Marine Monument. And expeditions like this is the 2016 deepwater exploration of the Marianas, are only possible through successful partnerships and collaborations. The mission's designed and designated